Hey, Travis, two straight wins where you have to come from behind in the third. What does winning games in this manner do for the confidence of your group going forward?
Well, it should build confidence. That was a big win tonight. That's a good team over there. I like how our team stuck with it. And you're always learning lessons along the way. I think in the past when we've gotten down, we've kind of gotten away from our game, away from the type of game that we need to play. I thought, the last few games we've just stuck with it and stayed persistent with our game, had purpose to how we wanted to play and believed in it the whole way. And we get a late goal to win it in a shootout.
And you get that late goal from Adam Gaudette. I'm wondering what you've been seeing in his game lately. You had him up the lineup throughout the game. You have him on the ice in the 6-on-5 situation late, and obviously it pays off for him.
I just think his game's been coming. I've talked a lot about it in this room, or not a lot, but every now and then. He's been a little bit snake bitten, and I was happy for him.
Okay, we'll go to Farhan Lalji.
Travis, Thatcher came in here a little bit earlier and said that, he didn't feel the puck was necessarily sticking to him as well as it had been in other games, but he was still able to find a way to have some success tonight. What does it say about where he's at right now that maybe in his own mind he wasn't on his A game, and yet he turns in a pretty good performance and made some big saves at important times to get the win here?
Yeah, it was, as far as him feeling the puck, I can't speak for him, but I thought he played a solid game. It was a pretty tight game. There wasn't a lot of scoring chances from both teams, but he definitely stood tall and made some big saves when he had to. I thought Price played a good game as well. Both goalies looked sharp. I think it says, says something about where Demmer's maturity level is, understanding that he can not feel well, but maybe still play a solid game. And I thought he gave us a very solid game tonight again.
You were asked about moving Adam up the lineup. There were stages in the second and third period where you maybe moved Brock out of the top six a little bit. Can you take us through that decision in terms of, where he fit, where he did?
Yeah, it wasn't putting Brock down, to be honest. It was just trying to get a different look. The Montreal team's got a very deep team of forwards. You look at their top three lines and they're all pretty balanced lines as far as scoring goes. And I just didn't think we had a lot of life in our game. So I put Gods up hoping that it'd give us a little spark, and talked to Bess on the bench about putting them down. Our minutes were getting a little high as well. That was part of it. I wanted to get Gods a little bit more time, and I knew I was running hot, and I didn't want to overplay Bess, but then Gods gave us some good shifts up there, and I kept Bess with Suts for a while, and they had some good looks as well.
Okay, next we'll go to Daniel Wagner.
Travis, you've talked about how it's not easy to get chances in this league. It's not easy to get to the net, but it feels like it's not always as hard, perhaps, as it was tonight for both teams. Was there something about the way the game was played that made it tough to get to the center of the ice for both teams?
I think both teams play a pretty similar style of hockey. I think both teams pride themselves on trying to get to the hard areas, get to the work areas, and also keeping teams out of there. You're right, though. It was a tight checking game. It was hard to find a lot of space on the ice. Their D try to have a tight cap, much like ours do. Their forwards are fast skaters that get above right away. We talked to our team that, this is going to be a little bit of a chess match tonight. It's going to be a quick game with a lot of puck battles, and I thought that's exactly what it was.
I want to ask about the Brock Besser chance in overtime. There was a moment where he just seemed to wind through pretty much everyone on the ice and then almost tucked it in. What was the feeling like on the bench when Price got his glove on that? Was there an emotional swell, or was it just business as usual?
I don't know. It seems like in overtime, you're as a coach, you're kind of going up and down a lot. You're hoping the red light goes on and you score, and you can see why 3-on-3 is so popular. There's lots of action going on, and But it was nice to get the win in overtime regardless.
Okay, last hand raised here is Chris Faber.
Hey, Travis, just wanted to ask about Travis Hamonic, actually. It felt like, I don't know, maybe just watching you from up here, it just felt like he kind of gelled with the team today. Did you see him a little bit more positive playing with Quinn Hughes? I think the chemistry just felt there tonight.
Yeah, I feel like his game is starting to take form here. We talked about it in our coach's office after the game, but I think this is the guy that we've envisioned when we got him. I think him and Quinn are starting to get used to playing with each other, but I also think that Travis is finding his game. He didn't have training camp. He hadn't had a lot of practice time. Then he misses a bunch of time, and then he's got to work his way back. But I thought lately here his game is really coming along, and I've liked his game. He's playing heavy in his own zone. He's got a nice shot from the point as well. He gets rid of it, gets it off pretty quick, and we almost scored a few goals just off his shot. And he's a heavy player. When he closes on someone, he can eliminate. And there's something to be said for having heavy defensemen that they can shut down a play. So I've liked how his game's trending for sure.
And you've used Adam Gaudette now on the wing for a good majority of the season. What is it about his skill set that really fits as a winger? Because he seems to be able to get some speed down the wing, obviously has the shot. What just works with him as a winger?
Well, I think it's been an adjustment for Gods to play the wing, quite honestly. We've always kind of thought in our mind that he might be a winger at the end of the day. And part of it is just we felt that a necessity that we had to go back with Suts in the middle. A little bit bigger body, veteran guy that understands the down low part of the game, maybe a little stronger than Gods, and he's a little bigger. We didn't like how our game was defensively more than anything in that first 10 to 15 games. And I think that played a big part of it, but we've always kind of thought that Gods might be a guy that can play center or wing. I think it's a real advantage when you have centermen that can play the wing. Because then you've got an option of changing your lineup. We also know that if we wanted to, we could put Gods back in the middle. And Suts is also capable of playing the wing as well. And you're seeing with JT Miller now, I think he's playing his best hockey in the middle of the rink. And that's a real advantage for us if you have guys that can play center and wing.
Okay, we'll take our last one here from Farhan Lalji.
Just want to ask you about Quinn and just the amount of ice time he had tonight, over 30 minutes, over 4 minutes in overtime, and just how he was able to hold up throughout the game as you saw it.
Yeah, I was surprised. We were trying to get him to get up to 40 minutes. So you act like that's a lot. That's, he played 30 minutes. It's probably a little more than we scripted out. But, when it gets into 3-on-3, he's such a gifted skater. He ended up staying out a little longer than we probably wanted him to. But he's one of those guys that has the luxury that he seems to skate all day without getting tired. But you're right, his minutes did get a little high tonight. But some nights that happens when you're trying to win or you're chasing a game and then it goes to overtime. But that's not the norm for sure.